it's almost the end of the week, and that I can trust. Thursday, the 20th, we're getting there. It's almost Halloween. And it's tonight on HipStar tonight. It's cold outside, and as cold as all my ex-girlfriends. Love, man. I don't fucking understand it. But I'm not in love. I love me. I'm dead squatting at work in my fancy pants, dress pants. I'm done doing the thing. I'm worrying about myself. I'm loving myself now, and I think that's a beautiful thing. That's one thing we kind of, will strive to try to find, but we won't always do, you know what I mean? You love yourself, right?
RWI, Shirkston Beach Show, outdoor show, 500 people in attendance.
Yeah.
After the show, I was going down, taking a walk along the beach with actually one Carmen Scordino with a rat that we both tag team and fucked and left inside the park at Shirkston.
Yeah.
Good times of my life, yes. Did it cause problems? Yes.
Was this the day on the show, or was this before a show when you just saw a fan? Was she a fan, or
Yes, it was a fan that came down from the Guelph area with one of the other wrestlers who I cannot mention, obviously, because it would create more tension and heat. But,
of course, yeah.
Tag Team Raw right on the beach. It was one of the greatest, moments in the history of pro wrestling, in my career. And said that she actually did porno. Actually, accused Warhead of having some footage of her. And I don't know what was going on, but I felt the need to check it out. Felt the need to do it.
Of course, yeah.
Sand in her ass. I mean,
did you record it? Did you get it on tape? Just for safe measure?
No, I didn't record it. I'm recording it now. Live on your show.
Yeah.
But no.
6 years later, but it's we're okay. I mean, we meet people like this, and we don't know how to perceive them right away.
Do you remember, I don't know, HipStar, if you, in fact, remember the old TWA Powerhouse off Oakdale?
Yeah.
Pro wrestler Ryan Denham and his ex-girlfriend that came in with the cowboy hat.
Weren't they married? Did they have kids? I think they were. She had huge knockers.
I don't know, but
that
was a train wreck of a relationship. Let's face it. I mean, millions of kids. None of them, I don't know. And Ryan Denham, actually sold tickets to this girl and all of her kids. They filled the front row. And I would see this weekly at the Powerhouse, and I would just like Ryan Denham, are all these kids yours? And he would be like, no. But I love this girl, and I'm getting married, and I'm like, wow, I don't know what to make of this. I don't remember if her name was Sandy or, do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. You're a really good mother when you have huge boobs, because you can feed a house. And they did love their kids, and Ryan especially loved kids that weren't his. And I think that's your number one babyface right there. If anything, I mean, he made money.
He's such a babyface. He actually turned into a Christian high school teacher and left the business altogether, and left his wife with the 12 children.
Is he really a teacher now?
Just got out. Just ran out the door and left. And I just wow, Ryan Denham, for what you could have done in the wrestling business, coming out to the, the country music. What's the name of that fucking song?
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Ride a horse with a cowboy whip.
Yeah.
he turned up the Powerhouse every single time. I mean, the fans loved Ryan Denham, and it was a sad day for me to see him go. The business was down after that.
His highest was when he spread his love in Simcoe. And Simcoe really knew they were getting a show. They knew this guy's a star. He's got the championship belt tattooed on his arm. He's a champion. That's what I always said about that guy. But I gotta stop falling in love with with boobs, with the physical image of a woman, and that's exactly what that woman was. And I don't mean to offend her, but I don't objectify anymore, and nor I know what it's like. I felt the objectification before, and I don't really like it. And I understand what it's like, and I can only imagine. But there's just when you date your first wrestler, Jay, and you think it's just going to be grand, and you realize that we're just kind of watching her work. She loves to watch herself.
Let's look at the other side of the coin, if you will, HipStar. I mean, flip the coin, if you will, and talk about some of the boys in the business that will stab you in the back and take your wife. Somebody like a Sniper Randy Vaughn, like you watch your wife because he's banged all the wives in the business. Like he knows how to work it.
I'll take them all,
what's your
son.
response to that, Randy Vaughn?
I'll take all your wives. I'll take Sharon. I'll take Lauren. I'll take Jessica if she wants to twice on Sundays. Goddamn, son.
I actually know of a female woman wrestler that used to be in the business that Randy actually sent a dick pic to, as well as a full nudity shot, full 8x10 over Facebook.
Oh, who was it?
While she was just asking for. I'm sorry.
Who was it? Was it JBD?
It was actually Sylvie Silver. I don't mind to tell you, I've actually seen Sniper's dick pic, and his 8x10. I couldn't believe it. He started just asking, would you like to get booked for the Powerhouse show that we have on Hartsel Road? And it just turned into a big clusterfuck from there.
Well, he has these stories, too. He has these stories about, he'll randomly go up to you and be like, man, I got this, beautiful 18-year-old back home, right?
Yes.
I was getting her. She was so hot. She had the thong and the lower back tattoo. I got her home. We're all liquored up, and I just couldn't get it up, man. It wouldn't work. What do I do? I don't know, Randy. I don't know why you're telling me this in front of my little sister. Honestly.
Yes.
What a guy. He's got Instagram now, so God bless that.
God bless Instagram. God bless it. I mean, one day you may be able to get a selfie with the Sniper Randy Vaughn after he steals your woman.
Did you know I actually made Randy Vaughn's first website? It was a tripod website. And we would put on his old bodybuilding tapes and his pictures, and the theme song behind on this website was actually the Stone Cold theme song. The glass would break really, really loud because I couldn't control the music on the webpage, and it would just shatter really, really loud. That was the website, and then you'd see Randy Vaughn with a bullseye on his chest, flexing.
Yes, the target.
But you guys were business
God
partners.
bless Randy Vaughn.
You guys own the territory at times. You know what I mean?
Yes. We owned the Welland territory and put a lot of the promoters out of business. Randy since left the territory because he's wanted actually by the police. With some of the women that he was stalking on Plenty of Fish, actually made reports.
Well, that's one thing
and
he really
had
taught
some
me.
of the text messages on their phones, and Randy had since left the business and come back years later at the big Super Bowl show at the Heg Bowl, the big Heg Bowl show.
Well,
TWA
I owe a lot to that guy because he taught me love. He taught me love in wrestling. And Jay, I've loved a lot of characters here, and I think the breakups are the worst. I mean, I know you were talking yesterday about some of your bad breakups, and I could even imagine you got more stories. I'm sure you got more horror stories, and I don't know. There's
my ex-wife. There's actually a woman I was dating. I wouldn't say quite dating, but more of a ring rat, I would say, that actually Topher Whiteman stole. and is now in a relationship with her. So that
her
goes to
brother
show
was
you.
quite the superstar himself.
Quan Chang lost his lady to the great Chris Plant. I mean, there's so many turns in wrestling. I mean, you get in a relationship with in wrestling, it doesn't have to be one that stays. I mean, it can go down the road many, many times. Like an Angel Williams, in fact, dated a number of the wrestlers. Sin. You know Sin?
Yeah, did he? Kazardi?
Yes, the original Sin was actually married, in fact, to Jerry Lawler's chick.
Oh, yeah?
Wow. I mean, let's talk about even you, HipStar, has some stories. I mean, come on. I mean, do you got to put me in the spotlight? Do you got to talk about the time that I had the ring rat and, Tammy Lee in fucking Kitchener, and she got mad at me because I put her name on Driscoll Radio? I don't, it's like you put me on the spotlight and I get the heat after, which I don't mind. But yes, it destroyed my life in a lot of ways. I owe a lot of money to wrestling, and my breakup with Jacqueline, who I was just trying to, hook up into the wrestling business. I was a merch table girl, and fucking she went crazy.
Camera girl, yeah.
So, I don't know.
One time I got, drunker than I'm willing to admit, and I was kind of young, and I was, say, like 17, 18. We're at a Chuck Simpson show, and this is around the time when I'm actually starting to meet Thorne, and a more green Caitlin Diamond was there, and we got so bitter and so drunk at this show that we just made out after. We were just making out all over. And then Chris Thorne got it on his flip camera phone, and he was like showing this picture to everybody. And I wasn't really proud of it. It made us, Caitlin and I, very more distant, and I can proudly say that I really do hate her now. I do.
Caitlin Diamond accused me of actually coming on to her when she was 16 years old, and I was
really?
Probably 35.
She was never around when she was 16.
She accused me of coming on to her in an apartment, and I don't know, just
that wasn't.
It probably
Caitlin.
happened. In fact,
are
it
you
did.
Sure it wasn't her friend Inez? Inez was an enabler. She fucking was, man. She was, but then she was young, like 16, and I wish she knew more what she was getting into. But Caitlin wasn't around when she was 16. There's no way. She's like my age. Now, I mean.
I don't know. I just know that I got the accusation, and, I don't appreciate it. But it still carries with me to this day. In fact, she just tweeted about it about a month ago, and I'm just like, Caitlin, please.
Really? Did she tag you in it?
Yes.
Really? What did it say?
Yes, HipStar.
What did it say?
She outed me, saying that I actually came onto her in her apartment in Brantford when she was 16, and tried to make it public. And I was like, well, I was drunk. I got a ride with Thorne over to the apartment, and she actually made out with her roommate right in front of me, and I was just like, well, I ended up stealing all the edibles that were in the kitchen, and I fucking ran out with Thorne in his Trans Am. I just...
Oh, yikes. Yikes, I never heard that one before. A lot of first-timers.
It was a dangerous scenario, yes. It was, the whole thing came about she having to drive her and Mike Shea, the promoter, home from a said show that they were doing in Buffalo, because none of them have transportation, including the promoter himself, Mike Shea. It was just... a ridiculous scenario. I just happened to be in the car. I don't get it. Caitlin Diamond's the only wrestler besides Crazy C that's been all around the world without driving, and Crazy C's blind. So, I mean, what does that say about the business?
I don't let it hurt your heart, because a lot of people will try to hurt you. And I think we've learned that. I mean, it's almost the end of the week. It's Thursday. It's something to look forward to. Love yourself as much as you love the end of the week. That's important. I mean, if you got something in under 15 seconds to say, Jay, what would it be, honestly?
Thursday, I miss Thursday Night Thunder is on WCW TBS.
Me too.
8:05 Eastern.
Tonight on HipStar Tonight. Happy Thursday.